Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. First of all, I'm gonna start saying sorry. Sorry for being 1 month without uploading a single video. That was due to Worlds and the short amount of time we had between games and between like scrims and between traveling from Korea to Singapore. I didn't have enough time to make a video for you guys. So to start this video, I'm gonna talk about Group A, Group B and Group D in Worlds, and especially about Group C and our games we had there in Singapore. So from Group A was clearly that White was going to dominate, and also was easy to expect that EDD was going through. Still, we didn't expect EDD to lose against ASQ, but to be fair, like Westdoor played wonderfully that tournament. Like he played out of his mind completely for me. The bad note of this group will be Name. I've been watching LPL a lot, and I've seen what Name is able to do, and how Name performance is usually on LPL, but I never saw, like, for example, in LPL we never saw this guy like losing the lane or not carrying the team in mid-late game scenario. But in Worlds he didn't perform that well. He was not even close to his normal LPL level, so it was a kind of bad point about this group. Then from Group B we have Royal and TSM going through. This was probably the hardest group to predict who is gonna be top 1. Because no one knew what how Royal will perform on Worlds. But to be fair, like, you can't really count UC or UCI out of a World tournament. Like, every time it comes to Worlds, these guys just play wonderfully. Like UC in Season 3 and UC in Season 4, he's been probably the best AD carry in the world. Also, I have to say it was kinda sad fact that Svenskeren couldn't play with SK the first 3 games. I think with him, this group might be kind of different, because I think Svenskeren they will have beat TPA, and then the group will be like much different. So yeah. And then about Group D, that was the huge upset group, with Alliance dropping on group stage against Kaboom. I remember that we were on our room, like we were all the team with the management and everyone just watching the game, and we could hear Kaboom management and coach, and even like Cloud9 people who were in a room watching the game. They were just like shouting every time Kaboom was getting a kill. So it was kind of fun to watch, but not really fun to see how Alliance lose there, because that meant that it will not be any European presence on quarterfinals. At the same time, I'm happy that a Brazilian team won 1 game like Kaboom, but it's kinda sad that means Alliance was not going through groups. So yeah, and also I expected Seal to be top 1, but I didn't expect the good performance of Cloud9 at the end of groups. Like, I didn't expect Cloud9 to beat Seal in the last match of that group. And then we're gonna talk about our group, Group C, the group of death, and I'm gonna start talking about every single game of this group. Well, about our games mainly. So the first game was versus LMQ. We had a straight plan. Like, we have one plan made by like Toys, all the team, like Yellow Star, Reckless, Cyanide, Peke, and Soas. Everyone was talking about this plan, and obviously me as well. So we have a plan, but then in the game we didn't follow the plan. Like, we didn't do what we said we're gonna do. So that was mainly the biggest mistake. Like, for example, their composition was overall better than ours, and even though we were winning in the early game, we commit some mistakes that allow them to win the game. Because like in late game, if we are not ahead, like not like with a huge amount of money ahead, we're all gonna lose, because their team comp was overall better than ours. Then it comes to the second game, the game versus Blue. We went to the game with the exactly same plan versus LMQ. Like, we had the same plan, same picks, and same like where Larry has to go, where do we need to pressure and everything that against LMQ. And eventually we did it. Like, we picked the really strong champs. Like, we knew Dade was gonna play like Zed or Yasuo, so we picked Irelia to stop that split push at some point, and eventually our 4v4 will be better than them. So that was our main focus. And I was really happy with this game, especially of the great show that expected it with Ari. Like I don't remember a single charm missed by him on that game. Like almost not a single charm with Ari, and that was really well played by him. And he actually, the 1v1 he did against Daria, I think it was even more impressive than with the Seth versus Salon. But yeah, I think it was a really good game by us. The plan was clearly, they follow it, they played wonderfully, and we beat Blue, and I was super happy about that game. So then we come to a third game versus OMG. We had also a plan against Cillian, and in the paper it worked out, in a scrims it worked out, but not in the States. Like, it was kind of messy in the States. First of all, like, we knew Lovelin was gonna come bottom lane, because San in groups, he wasn't playing that good, as he's playing right now in after groups. But in group states, like, Lovelin was trying to help bottom lane a lot. Like, Lovelin was trying to put a lot of pressure in bottom lane, so they don't lose bottom lane in a 2v2 scenario. So we knew that was gonna happen. We still tried the 3v3 and didn't end up well. Like, the 3v3 we kind of lost it, and then Peke tried to do something mid lane, and then in the moment that Kassadin died 1v1 against Cillian, the game was almost lost, because Cillian will never lose against Kassadin anymore. The thing is, like, if Kassadin doesn't die, there is a moment like level 9, level 10, and especially level 11, that Kassadin is gonna put Cillian out of the lane. Like, Cillian can't really lane against Kassadin, and eventually Kassadin can even roam against Cillian. But that didn't happen, and we lost that game, so we went like 1-2 in the first 2 days. And then we come to the worst game ever, the 4th game of the groups and the rematch against OMG. The bans and picks were fine, completely fine. They had a strong comp, but we had also a really strong comp. I didn't expect them to put so much, like, I didn't expect, to be honest, going to play that well, that game. But yeah, well, nothing I can predict or anything. So, well, we commit so many positionally mistakes that with the comp we had, we need to stay all together. Like, if we are all in a pack together, there is no way they can beat us, they can do anything, you know. But in the moment we split up or anything, then is when problems can happen. Like, I'm gonna check, yeah. So our comp was Rumble, was Elise, was Syndra, was Kog'Maw, and was Nami. That 5 champion has a lot of range. We have like not a single melee champion, and we have a lot of CC. So all we have to do is, like, if they come closer, like if they try to get closer to us, we hit one CC, like Syndra stun, Elise stun, or even like Nami bubble, and with that CC we chain with another 1 or 2 CCs, and that guy is gonna die. Like, that's the focus on our comp, and then we can use like siege towers, because we have a lot of range, and Kog'Maw can eventually like keep hitting tower all the time. So all we had to do is protect Kog'Maw and land 1 CC. But we did some mistakes positionally, like people getting a split on team fights or not grouping up, and that lead them to a really huge early lead. But still, the comp was good enough to, even with that early lead for OMG, we didn't lose the game there. The problem was, like, when the game was super close, I remember this moment every single second. I keep remembering it. It was like Soa's TP top lane with Rumble, and in that moment, like, Toys and me just run like straight to the stage, and we stood at the left behind OMG screens, so we're watching the OMG screens, how the backdoor was getting done. And then when we saw all dying, I was like, I had my hands on the hair. I pulled Toys down again, and I told him, like, I think we're gonna lose this game. And after the game, I went to the stage to take the players, and the players really didn't believe how we lost this game. They were like asking, like, what happened, because we didn't know what happened. Like, this game was completely out of our minds. We went to the room. Some of them just went outside to get air, and some of them just stayed in the room, and we were like pretty much all of us super disappointed and almost, so some of them were crying. It was really emotive moment and really sad moment for us. But I told them, like, we have no time to lose. We have to prepare the next match against LMQ. That is gonna be in 1 hour. So I pulled them all inside the room. We made another plan against LMQ. And then we faced LMQ in the 5th game of groups, rematch against LMQ. the biggest point of this game was like Ackerman didn't play his best game. Like Ackerman was playing Maokai and he didn't play really well early game, and Reckless played wonderfully. Like Reckless was on fire that game, and with Reckless carrying bottom lane hard and Peke doing some really good plays in Drake fights. Like I remember a Drake fight that he flash W and Q two of them and was really well played by Peke. And then I also remember the huge pentakill of Reckless, but still that wasn't enough. Like when we left the stage, we were still destroyed by the OMG game. Like the OMG game was really a hard point on us. I still think that I pulled them out. I pulled them out to the LMQ game, and they still show a good level against LMQ, and I was really happy with that, because I think if I will be on his point or on his time that we lost against OMG like that, I will not be able to play against LMQ like they did. So I was really happy about that victory as well. And then we went back to the hotel and we started reading like Twitter, Reddit, and everywhere. Everyone talking about the bug of the recall and Cathix with the homewards. I talked with Riot. I sent emails to Riot and everything about this. They told me it was intended to be like this, so I have nothing else to do there. Next day in the room we were trying it, and we tried that book, and to be honest, like even though it's intended to be like that, there are some really like word interactions between like an auto attack, a missile, Bane damage just 0.1 second before the recall, and with the homewards. There are like really word interactions with that I would like Riot to check them, but well, it was already like the game was already over, so nothing to complain or anything anymore. And then for the last match, it was against Samsung Blue. We didn't really expect the two first pick they had, especially like they picked Elise and Thresh. That's actually our kind of comps. Like we try to run long CC comps with that, like pickup comps. But yeah, like their picks was a bit strange for us, and the plan was a bit messy. But we tried to pull a strong 4v4 with set split pushing, but due to some really bad early rotations, like we were early game really lost. Maokai had like not triple but more than double farm of Soas early game, and also we never let set split push early games, and the last point that was the worst point of this game was the Drake control. Like they just had every single Drake control, and that was the victory for Samsung Blue and our last match on Worlds. So yeah, after that we end up 2-4 on groups. We went outside of groups. Still, Group C is the group of death and probably the strongest group, as we can see. OMG being 3-3 on groups. They went through Shield, beating them 3-0. That was unexpected. And now I guess I'm gonna talk about in the next video about quarterfinals and semifinals. So yeah, that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. You will see all the links in the description. And if you want any type of video or in a future videos like explaining anything or playing any kind of champions or whatever, you just write it in the comments. Take care, guys, and keep smiling.